Happy New Year, everybody. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome to my first video of 2024. Feels weird to say that. It's become a tradition for the first video of the year to be a top 10 most anticipated movies video, and that's what I got here today, my top 10 most anticipated films of 2024. Before I get into this though, let me know your most anticipated film of the year down below. Hit that like button, subscribe to that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers, and go show some love to the Unusual Couple podcast for weekly episodes all throughout 2024. We have a lot of fun with it over there. Alright, so kickstarting this list at number 10 is Dune Part 2. If you know me, I'm not crazy about the first Dune, but the marketing for the second film has fully sold me. This looks like the Dune movie that I thought the first one would be. I think Dune 1 does a great job of building out this world, and it is a technical achievement. I just didn't love the story and didn't feel too much of a connection to the characters. It also lacked in action, and it looks like Dune Part 2 is going to improve on everything I just mentioned. This film is also adding Florence Pugh and Austin Butler, so it's got even more of a stacked cast. It seems to be more of an exciting watch. It was also supposed to come out last year, but it's been delayed. I just think this is going to be better than the first Dune, and honestly fully sell me on this world so that when I go back and watch Dune Part 1, I actually enjoy it quite a bit more than I did on my initial two viewings. But coming at number 9 on my list, I've got Mickey 17. A film directed by Bong Joon-ho is coming off his Oscar win for Parasite back in 2019. Look, we don't know much about this movie. It's got Robert Pattinson in the lead role though. That alone kind of sells me. But Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho sounds like a match made in heaven. I've seen a handful of Bong Joon-ho films. Memories of Murder is really solid. Parasite, obviously the Best Picture winner. So let's see what he's got cooked up now. He's won the Oscar. He can basically do whatever he wants. And Mickey 17 seems like an original sort of sci-fi weird thriller. We don't know much about it except for this one image that's been online for over a year now, I want to say. I feel like I should have faith in Bong Joon-ho, and if Robert Pattinson is the lead man, it's probably going to be a pretty damn good movie. At number 8 on my list is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This is about 300 years after War for the Planet of the Apes, I believe, and it's set within the same universe. I really like that trilogy. I actually haven't revisited it since 2017 when we got War for the Planet of the Apes, so I will 100% be rewatching that trilogy leading up to this film to refresh my memory, and I'll likely do a ranking of all of them when the time comes in May. But the trailers look good enough. I mean, it's an apes movie. The marketing for them, in my opinion at least, is never the best. You just kind of go, well, gotta watch and see what story they present. And that's the case here. That's why it's not terribly high, just because I'm not like over the moon excited. It's definitely one of my more anticipated of the year. You just gotta go watch it. Like, I remember Dawn and War having marketing, but being damn good. At number 7 on my list is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And this movie looks to be the most unique in the franchise. It's like a frozen empire literally taking over New York City, or the world perhaps even, where it's gonna be an icy cold film. The original Ghostbusters are returning, but of course we've got our new characters like Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Paul Rudd. They're all in the picture here as well, so I'm curious to see how this blends the legacy characters with the new characters. I really like the way they handled it in Ghostbusters Afterlife. That movie's a lot of fun, and that's kind of how you go about a legacy sequel in my mind. So I think this one should follow suit and be just as good, if not better. It has the potential to be one of the best Ghostbusters films. I like the marketing. It used the song Cruel Summer from the Karate Kid, so hell yes, I'm ready. At number 6 on my list is A Quiet Place Day One, a prequel film set in the Quiet Place universe starring Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. I don't know why we don't have a trailer for this yet. It was supposed to come out in March, and I think now it's coming out in June, so we should get a trailer, I would say, by February at least, right? But it's in the Quiet Place world. I really dig A Quiet Place 1 and 2. Those are concepts that are fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Both times I've seen these films in theaters, it's dead silent. You could hear a pin drop in that theater, and I imagine that'll be the case here, but because it's day one, there will be a lot more characters, and the stakes will be maybe even higher, because we'll know that a lot of these people are going to get picked off one by one, as this is probably going to take place the first day that this all went down. I don't know if anything can top the opening of A Quiet Place Part 2 when like John Krasinski and his family were at the ballpark and then everything just happened so quickly. That was intense and great filmmaking, but I do think this can be on par with the first two A Quiet Place films, which I don't rewatch often, hardly at all actually, but every time I go to the theater and watch them, I'm like, these are so well made, and always make me leave the theater just tense with my palms sweating. Getting in my top 5, we've got the only Pixar movie on this list, Inside Out 2. Inside Out 1 is a top 10 Pixar film to me. Bing Bong's character breaks my heart every time, and it's also just a highly unique concept of seeing actual human emotions at work in a teenager's brain. Leave it to Pixar to have these innovative new concepts in their animated films, and I hope this is just as good as that first Inside Out. That movie rules. It's got a great score by Michael Giacchino, and you go on this emotional journey with Riley. I really am hoping this film follows suit. It looks like they're introducing anxiety as one of the emotions, so that's something I feel like we can all relate to at some point in our lives, some people more than others. But I feel like Inside Out 2 will be more of a mature film. It's going to have its comedic bits for sure, but I also believe Pixar is going to want to break our hearts. They tend to do that in all their movies. They just have a way with filmmaking. I really hope this is a return to form for Pixar. They haven't had a true winner in my mind since Onward in 2020. They've made some solid movies since then, but they haven't had like a true home run hitter. I think Inside Out 2 would be the one to do it. Of all the original Pixar films that haven't gotten a sequel yet, this is one that surprised me the most, so bring it on, Inside Out 2, I'm ready. At number 4 on my list is Joker 2, which is titled Joker Folie à Deux. I have no clue how to say that, so I'm just going to keep saying that until someone tells me I'm wrong. The first Joker was one of the stronger films of 2019. It was dark and depressed me in a way. Like, I left the theater feeling truly disturbed, but it was really well made, and Joaquin won the Oscar, rightfully so. That movie is haunting. So Joker 2, going the musical route it seems, with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I just have faith in this movie because Todd Phillips is back in the director's chair, and has Joaquin ever done a sequel in his career? I don't think he has, so this is a first for him. I don't see that man just coming back for the hell of it. He's the kind of guy that would not sign on if he didn't like the script, so I'm sure they have some wacky and weird story cooked up for us. With Harley Quinn in the picture, anything's on the table. I think this will be vastly different than the first Joker film, and I'm kind of here for it. I'm curious to see what they have cooked up for us. Joaquin and Lady Gaga singing together? Who knows? At number 3 on my list is The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. This is from director David Leitch, who did Bullet Train, which is one of my favorites from 2022, and it looks very similar stylistically. Ryan Gosling is playing a stuntman who looks like he gets intertwined with this plot to go find the actor he was doubling for. The trailers have it looking like an action comedy with some hand-to-hand combat, but of course Ryan Gosling dropping his quips and one-liners. He's such an underrated comedian, and I'm glad that more roles lately have showcased that with Barbie and of course The Nice Guys. I have faith in David Leitch. He's one of the best action directors around, and this movie looks like it's going to be a great way to kickstart the summer movie season. It comes out at the beginning of May. I'm here for it. My runner-up on this list is Gladiator 2, a movie that I was very skeptical of for the longest time, and then they started releasing the cast, and I was like, oh, I'm sold. Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, Joseph Quinn, and Paul Mescal are all starring in this film, directed by Ridley Scott, who to me might have lost his touch a little bit, but Gladiator is like his film. It's a Best Picture winner. I think it's probably his best directed movie, and for him to make a sequel all these years later, it better be something special. I just don't think this movie would exist if it didn't have an important story to tell, so I have faith in everyone involved. I was skeptical at first. I'm still a little cautiously optimistic because the first Gladiator is a Best Picture winner, modern day classic that everyone has seen. I just got a good feeling about it. I hope I'm not wrong, but taking the top spot as my most anticipated film of 2024 is Deadpool 3. I feel like it was inevitable that this was going to be my number 1. You've got a new Deadpool film for starters. That would put this movie high on this list no matter what. But it's the first time Deadpool's in the MCU, it's the first R-rated MCU film, and it's featuring the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. All of those ingredients mixed together have me just so hyped for this. There are a lot of set pics and leaks out there as to what the plot could sort of be about. It's going to get multiversal at times, obviously, and it could be confusing. My biggest fear is the movie turns into this convoluted mess, hard to follow plot, just fan service after fan service. But I have faith in Ryan Reynolds. Sean Levy's directing the film. I don't think Hugh Jackman would come out of retirement for nothing. This has so much potential. The MCU needs a winner. There's a lot riding on this movie. It's literally the only MCU film coming out in 2024, so I think they know it needs to be a winner, and I have faith it will be. It's also the one movie on this list that I'm genuinely the most hyped for. When the first trailer for this drops, I will be giddy. There's also no telling who could show up in this movie. That's not the only reason I'm excited, obviously, but anyone could show up in this film. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, that's kind of exciting. But that's just my list. Let me know your most anticipated movies of 2024 in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. It would mean a lot. And stay tuned for lots of content coming throughout this year. I've got lots of Stranger Things updates, movie reviews, TV stuff, all that and more, so you're not going to want to miss it. But thank you guys as always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.